beya aban anase bi omampanyini aso ye be hye eba no scholarship funds nyina so se bia wo mo pese wo kwa amanane wo mo man Ghana mu ase wo mo suku course bia aban na se yafa ho ka nti kona kwaje nimde wo wi a waba beboa oman yi nti enu nti ena no gina ho no mo ema ene nkomo na ye bo no minim se Facebook ene YouTube why yes sanse ensem wo ho aisase ye ka ho asem na 29th January 2025 eno mampanyine ebo owura asafo agye se wono ene nkokoye registrar wo honom ti ne wabai wo ba ye ne ma wahu de wo honom chese ebedi hu nkomo bebre ene se adoso na wo ho se wo bese gold na wo honom so ne ye ebe chi ni nyina opanyime mo akwa
eje osumni aba
bibia bokọ de
nyame adaro ma me hoye
mema wutiri nkwa
ye nyina yeti da
there's wunya ye ne da edikan ya me ne wo
yes in fact ne da ma san ba UTV
that's all ba ha che
apa
pa is a juma na doso we ye ba kwa ma ye I hope say after ena ka make after ne un ma na yo me da se pa mama uti kwa ide ye hwe obi beka se ye boldin se ye didibia bi e mawa usually no be on mo sim aha de me hye de nim de enti me pese meko wodie no wagye atom a wahye wadwuma ase from January abc eni aye wadwuma dem pa na bua na se hye omu ma ka se mamenye eye sa dwumedie na me nso me mo ametimi de aboa enshin
okay me da se edikan obi onim bia enim say me very passionate about whatever I do enti me kai say time I very active communicators no me ba UTV and free me na prince obi mpe mo increase air condition it's just because of the passion me dey yard me dey me hu nyina ye den ehim and am panifo so say obisa fo nyira kwan ade bia ye sha say free baby enti say one jam to my you never know and you never have that experience enti I took it as a challenge na de minim no mebusa ye wo mpanimfo wo NDC mu a omo wonim de ni bi chen yen omo di agro na since 92 enti I will also tap into their wisdom, I will tap into their experience and their knowledge and expertise enti position dey ye dey amaye we are all young guys but ehun be hia say bibi kire wadwen a wo be pepanim bi o wo hu nim de na wakọ na ase ense hwe no so ache enpo eboa ma otimi ye adwuma ni yi se o hwe yura Mampani John Dramani Mahama. I've always said he will be one of the best presidents in the history of Ghana. And the reason is simple. When you are Konya Abedio Mampani Pen, or Quachin, when you are Konya, enya suyenhunu mistakes or ye, or more ebedi konkonsan chire no, anenya no kre, and I'm so an microphone tem say ye, a general experience. Uti hey, so china bi uni ha, you reflect. Assembly be out here and Amobia to you yanka well to, but you cannot rewind the clock.
So yes,
ye fast self introspection. Enti onya akonya ni biwa enye bibia na oba na obeka kire na obetie ni keke cause we hu nipa su ban different bebre
based on experience,
based on the experience enu ti na wo hwe ya oba ye emre kakra ni no ye hu sakra ye bebre because of the experience bi eni free akiri asan ye den aba o first time no there one hwe ya you are bound to make mistakes but when you are given another chance you would not want to repeat your mistakes enu ti ye de yaje challenge no omo a omafam no ameka so omo experience no ye bekoso ane omo dinkita ho wa akire na omo so atimi agade ene asere nyankopon so nyansa se na ono so atutu ya na mo asi ya ma botaye esi ani so no ye nsaka
okay minim se abra omampanyini ye okọ aprobo na oye ne campaign kase ye nto aba ema no ade bi so ana within the manifesto no wo kansi so pa se obehye na wayi amanyo sema ye de hye secretariat na hyemu na emposi ebe ma wo bi scholarship a na kwakwa se party ni wunimu a na yese kokofu ball bo wudi enimu a na ye die gya na se ye bo e de gya wo obehye ma pepepe yo aye adwuma wo ba ye eniema ben ene wo ho no ma waso kromu di aka se wo hye se pepepe yo kwan be so na wonam sa wo masa pepepe yo no ade di said o mampanyini kai
nti framework ene ye de be ye adwuma But let me mami kios a mischief way. For instance, BOA hungry government bet me akasa wa Ghana scholarship. Slots be a embassy in the Amaya na hungry abani the Amaya just 100 slots. And in one application you can have deeper be about 1,500 apply. Then 100 near they call. Into you send for a 1,000 and they apply a moon 900 or munya. It doesn't mean say obi atu sika ma obi. Because you see obi fie kwan wa obi so e wo de na chi. So unim ngoma na wa pass ya obi so timi pass e chen. Because sometimes apart from aptitude testing, almost be interviews professors from the various universities in Etnaso. No almost we o say based on the interview no. You feel say way ni way etimi kwa nkeye. Ko we na the answers no, you won say be a passion na wo mi so. When the answers you won say ni nim no even though on paper no say but eba physical interaction it is say then they are shortlisted. Okay. It is say a medical school ewo hoyi. Ebiwa in a year 500 or even 600 applicants to me apply. But based on facility crom no muntimi mfa ni nyina. Enti yebetimi afa yebetimi aka so ye aggregate say this is the cutoff. But then if sir cutoff no omo ma fall within more than the capacity of the school on be the interview aba the bibi fufura aba exactly because you cannot and no chese obi mpewasem and no chese obi abetua sika. So
does it mean say you don't believe in say unkofo ko tueska na ye de ama wo mo?
Oh of course say matiti bebree
because can me ba baby say for stage for wo mo year omo de ebetu dwa ka say obi timi ko tua £5,000 no de akwa 40,000 pounds scholarship.
Me matiti bebree. But me pese me gina atesem so until say menya evidence. So what year sika na wo betimi aba abonten so manya scholarship e wo bi aban dada nim na me mitua sei na wo betimi aboa ne Ghana police ama yetimi akwachi nipa kro oje usika na ebeboa one of the things I metena ha ya me troy Ghana scholarship secretariat your mandate enye to arrest. Maka already so atro me Facebook and me social media handle say severally say yenji sika yenji application fee e free bonto yenji sika enti so me no ka say the possibility say bi kro bi achi obi ase wan corner bi that dan what you say ma miska metimi aboa ma wanya scholarship me nyanya nkopon na mahu enti Ghana police ene ye no mu di sankita hodie no ti nipa na opese oje usika no wo betimi afa kwan bi so kura twa no photo na wa twa no photo na de aba eno no ba secretary to na de be kire me a me amedi akire no wakosi adi na police watu ana ma wache sankrofo no but wo tena ho ekotua sika no nipa no wie na bi a scholarship no wantimi anje ama na afi wo ba bonten be ka se o mu ji sika I think it's so unfair.
Na Alex wo ba yi per document wo ho no mo ni ade ufa weni ehun bi
o se sika de
no te meta bakrata bi any one medawa complaints bi sa aba nkofo a complain say ye de o ma fa sa
me buy me hu document bi e kire say obi adi obi sika but I've had people call me say omutu sika in fact MPs ni bi krasi omutu sika I'm sure MPs for na kan mo the ministers bi kra betimi so aba be kabadi you see
MP tu sika so wanya
anonya but on say
that is on share £50,000 I would budget for
my point is that Ghana mrana ye de ye adwuma no wo hwe evidence act ne ye criminal act 29 na ye wo elements wo de be prosecute bi e wo say wo de court e de prosecute bi enti wo de wa no kekebe ka say Matuasican is not enough. There must be proof. Tina make say without the collaboration of Nipana or say what you can. You cannot do anything beyond that.
But Alex Mienche, ujitum secretary se dream ne proye e wo secretariat.
Enye secretariat onko e wo ba bia.
No, meba wo side no.
Bedru ho.
I know, but wo was say because baby what's that some common no because asem na dey asem oba na enti nkomo me pese e because e ho na wo enti e ho na wo be say wo control over wo hu de ekoso ene ade wo beji atomo sa se bibisa wo
secretary se wo
proye dream ne kankan
and na me cry me enti na me say my answer so o ma me call no step by step out because my catcher will say no me I go under me time we ye ma obi a scholarship a watu ya 1 peso ye ma obi a scholar me edel endra I saw a comment last week on a girl when ya say A na B baako and na me commented so mo fa ne mbra yesterday they came on kita admission me say omo an copper admission no the scholarship secretariat will take it through the process and granted the scholarship obeso okoye medicine man disika man yi kapre me anam sama ni sika say oni bi into omo sanfanfa ka enfanko ye wi a metimi the evidence na kire what ma say the ntia me pese me tena TV so aka say Ghana Scholarship Secretariat baby akata hye woni say me de me buy no me hu ebi nsi but they said me di can pointing out to you no previous regime no me buy ma betete such complaints and na me can say MPs bimpo aka say omutua sika so you can now infer and conclude
because the office of the special prosecutor and so a investigation was suspected said there has been a corruption related offenses.
So the word you use they say
or suspect sitting me bisa say
of course the suspicion on say I had to say mama ncho you see Ghana for ankasa so ye ho ahomete mama ncho de ntia Ghana aban say passport ukoye na open ntem a obetua say open ntem a within 3 months no enu so obetua say dey make a what say but unim say ye obi mu wo a wantua sika kra ma obi ane ho nto no ye obi wo a obeso ohun say watua sika dey ama obi wo passport office ho na wanya of course you see
watua sika na ho nto
your microphone per se ohun say wanya connection on the people are not your microphone naturally
interest in
how I also be wo I say o feel say oh ade me srewa ye mama you ye mama me penintem dey too
but also when trias on facilitating intem
so steps will have to be taken say they be correct at the corner create our problem dey make what here for instance me buy na your website omo dey ama private person be na wa create I said no you will need for service wo so quickly I instructed that those websites should be shut down omo movie enko nita for so say yasesa domain no aye ghanascholarship.gov.gh because I have nothing to hide enti nita for betimi ahwe back end no ehun de ekoso
but have you experienced that before say obi say they will see case obi won mo ntue sika na esa ne ho nto no ebi abetemte wo say wo tue sika say be no ebe
mimi mum na me san bo omo ho kamum
ona bo omo
mimi mum na me san bo omo ho
you're so passionate about talking about say obi wo hono mo ntue o feel say
no ye nyina won say we are all Ghanaians first before we join political parties and all of those ye nim ye suban I say flooding na abai ebi betimi afri aban men kasa aban ho son but ebi so free yen me no we know obi wo wa ye chi amanfo video so amo yi bia enso to no de ne ball and refuse ekogu ebe choki gata no
and there cassette ya
and na me say there is evidence to that effect and so say ekoba say ba bia flade ya ye nyina na ye betwa ye ho obi apepa na no te say de oni mu ho hwe
why na ye
you see ti ye nyina ye Ghana for no man bu am ye nrane we know say e wo obi wo the mere fact say about yes o tia bright person obeso o mo bibi kura na say die akire mame die akire ye follow up mesro mame so those things are there the say ye ni say e betu na ma reduce untimi ntu ase nipa I reduce to the barest minimum e bi na make say a state agency like the scholarship secretariat should not because a amount for data it would come a private person how ye IT ni no control domain na or access to the data. And it is not right. Data protection crime law no makwan.
Previously the na private
na Ghana Scholarship Secretariat.com.
Okay.
Now mama movie about the official government domain so which is say about scholarship Ghana Scholarship.gov.gh.
Then you fine
wo ho no mo. Etosu mienu. Me no ka say me wo 2 award letters from Bangor University. No mo be verify free or so mo ye students aye na mo award ade ana nipa no nim ne say omo yes ade de no mo nim ne say me buy ya within a month na me sesan all letterheads a man no a more enhanced security feature
nipa ne the old letterhead
or no the old letterhead and a baako. And interestingly, it doesn't have my signature.
Hey, the one signature also.
The previous registrar. So me person me the chill.
The nipane de okay, nipane de call time be.
One March I me na me office.
No. Any the past registrar no.
Enti ubetimi ahwe. Ubetimi abo date na mo bia hu bi. Date
ni 17th March. My birthday so na nipa no so the date. 17th March 2025. Oh.
And why na assign?
Dr. Kingsley Ajiman, Registrar of Scholarships.
Enti ye betimi ama former registrar the benefit of the doubt because and your criminals on betimi kura akloni ne signature. But we are investigating the matter. Enye ba ko etu wo swipe abon se ba ko so.
Oh. And also your 14th March.
Good.
And at the same person Dean so Dr. Kingsley Ajiman.
So what you say? It is say
into omo friend wo no
say university na email by say you verify my home if they are actually our beneficiaries. It the first thing I say you fake here one the old letterhead. Because I don't use this letterhead. Any signature na also
no. Any dean no. Then the dates.
What you say? So the person was so ignorant so him say my sister and normal be onim say me use o letterhead we
na letterheads no available sa obi answer
ideally ebia obe assign a schedule officer be to 8 because OCU and say you dey register there normal egu so those ti intime ma say obi ahia letter this oba office but because of say the way say the work no amanfo ka say secretariat war normal dream then normal because on me buy no I have kept custody of my own letterheads.
Oh is my
eni obi a just say two here one na abeji here two na abeji until such a time
you'll be able to trace.
Yes until such a time I mean say I am very sanitized, everybody is moving along with my vision then after me will be there then they are sharing but see now after na miguso a me reform ho ne de ebe wo me ho kopem se me ya me hu se sese de bibia ye kama
nti obi ti obaka se mistrust kakra e wo ho sese
of course said they wo can say yes say corruption e wo ho OSP e ba ho we no
wo ka say me se me can is it something I wouldn't even
no but on say you made mention of it and so me so me pese me ma pensu sa no man bi beto me
no china bi woni wa
of course apart from I'm there to reset the place John Mahama appointees ni nyina obi akọ mandate the reset agenda we are not there to continue what the previous government did otherwise the thing Ghana for to abamaye Ghana for to abamaye with the secure mind say NDC is different NDC betimi aye ni yie and o mampani so a kire so o ye ni yie enti obi a o te office bia me nu Erika je mu same mu nyina no reset agenda nti na yakwa especially with the young ones we have to justify our inclusion. We cannot let President John Dramani Mahama down. I was say ye bibi ma Ghana for who say ampa John Mahama confidence or the share Ghana mabunu mo no ohun bibi what am I say enti adwene na ye de ba ye ne de e different cry and I can assure you say obi ji usika report the person to Ghana Police Service. Maybe next week I'll pay the IGP a courtesy call where my dedicated number be if I will have to give it to the CID a WhatsApp number. So if you can record the person and send it to CID for now, they will take it up.
Okay, so be frail so bet me am scholar.
And now say because ko share nipa no, bet me video no. Now send it across our WhatsApp number no so.
Okay.
So that the police department, the CID department will take it up.
Okay. Until now no take us through. Say obi scholarship no much chemu say both the local and foreign scholarships.
So your scholarships are hold on bear means.
Okay.
So your the friend of bilateral scholarship. And your the friend of non-bilateral scholarship. And your institutional partnership. And no. So the can't bilateral now. Bilateral no chere say ebia Ghana aban any hungry aban akwa ye krata agree say hungry aban no epeso oboa Ghana aban in terms of education omo mpeso omo bo omukro mo besua de na de obetimi ayama Ghana aban ne say omo ba tuition no ayo se nka Ghana fo tua no ono afa saa aka no ti Ghana ni na obeba under saa agreement no bosume so a de ono de beto aduane adi na Ghana aban na tua ma saa student no and an accommodation no tua ma no and an insurance no tua ma no enti with the bilateral scholarships no eya na ehun ka no nye bebre enti ye ne Hungary will be ye ne Russia will be ye ne China will be ye ne Cuba will be edos Morocco Algeria ye ne omu nyina will be India ye ne omu will be ti ebre no so a embassy no ana say kru aban no etro de maye say afiwe bre na so enti mo advertise amanfo apply ebia slot no ye 100 ebia slot no ye 50 ebia slot no ye 30 enna na meka say enipa bebre be apply but at the end of the day no eya na shortlisting ni nti no obi wa na wanya afi na o ka say bia obi agi obi sika which may not be the case. I'm not speaking for the previous regime which may not necessarily be the case because and you have little control. So my example Hungry scholarship or my 100 slot to you advertise, you take them through the test or the exams, you do the interviews, you shortlist the 100. Also shortlist the 100 ni be a process in end obe send the nominations na dia come Hungry embassy no embassy no so the be ma the various universities na sankrofo na o ma yayo nomination am no apply then the universities will again run another exams with those individuals out of the 100 and TB wa ya nominating nipa 100 na kono final list na o de be say we mu na pass ne be 70 e bia na 60
na nka ye ne de o ma
so o ma your exams ama one pass okay e bia ye de ne de o pass but the omo ye at the second layer no one pass even though you are sending 100 nominations no but then enye obia na benya saa kwanya no say what am I say enti e ho no kra de you have little control because omo aso screen ansana the final list na yeden akọ ene e wo non bilateral no eno de enye aban to aban hyehyɛ ete sɛ woti hai na bia wo pese wo koye artificial intelligence na bia wa apply to university bi wa ma no ne na bia watro e de address secretary say ohunso enti yembo then we take you through the process the interview and all of those things. If omu feel say meet all the criteria, then it comes to me, then I will sign that award letter for you. Okay. If you know the you bet your tuition, no, you bet your stipends so at the amount. And no, they are not a canison because we are sometimes one person. Maybe a utia. Mahu say so cry be over 20,000. Be over 20,000 euros, $20,000 and our pounds. Now utia bibisa, which can take care of a lot of students in Ghana. Because and yes, exchange rate in Abba from Kakra and 30 a lot of money. A lot. Enti a honoyana a kawum, o manager, adding a Kakra because utia nipano, the ode better to Nibuto di behind dine. O sense utia ni fees. Aha. Enti ano for non bilateral. No ye say Ghana ban share than no munye agreement bia. E bi wo ho a ye GSS4 and ye no ma ye MOU. Maybe ya pushing for discount. Because of say yeah MOU no na push so fees na there because of this MOU no more discount will be at 20%, 25%. We have one with Memphis, almost 25% discount. Okay. But you know to me the fees no eba form. And na ekoba sa so na wo kra na payment delay omo how kese. Et say omo ye no mu ni agreement bia na understanding bia. Enti ye no so wo na bi wo ho institution and a company bia betimi decide so omo na ye be partner say oh ye into agric your person ki training engineers do betimi handle your machines na use for farms on and your person training crofobia in special areas enti your person mo ye ne mo eka bom na bia me ye Ghana ni die anka mintimi ntua ni nyina be person ka metua tuition no na scholarship secretariat so mo boy with stipends and obi wo kra na o person ye ofaka ni nyina but sometimes getting the visas is difficult tie or den ho be bataya it makes it very official very simple. So he's able to send his people to go and train them and come back and support. At the end of the day, concern krona because phone year of feed Ghana for say OTA tax or contribute to the GDP. So in that light, we also allow for such agreements. Now me buy and you came under the non-bilateral. Yeka ame mabeto so ekeka ko 40 million pounds.
More than sika kwamba ye twa to ho no ma
de bo afi mi sika ye twa ma me 174 million Ghana cedis. UK canon kwa ko almost 700 to 800 million Ghana cedis. Eno kwa me entire budget for the year.
And I think America was about $10 million or so.
And also you're almost 10 million. Enya Hong Kong by Algeria ye di omoka. Me pese mi na utwe bi. Algeria ye di omoka. Morocco ye di omoka. Cuba ye di omoka.
Ye beba honom na minim se sika poti ana mo de bo mo ho bra no oil no proceeds no 2%.
No, eno kra nyamba mu edo ye anamo a ye radon mahama apensu ode beba
o se first na ye na anane no kra
first ne de finance minister na behwe ne books mu na wahwe sikadodo o man nanya na ono aka so okay bia there be 2% no kra de eni ho
but mean say you've upgraded to 5% or so
no eno ye de ye push for so the whole okay. So mama ntro mu so John Yewura Mahama bae and our 10 member committee led by the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, Minister for Education, and Penifo, including Honorable Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment. And omu put two together a bill. Ye pese de come rashe bi pass na eno abe back the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. Ye pass samra na e be free Ghana Scholarship Secretariat akọ Ghana Scholarship Authority. Ako Ghana nti eno na omo a propose di ashemu say guide e bibia eno na ye de ashemu say one of the sources of funding about 2% of our oil revenue na another percentage as determined by the board of Get Fund every year and in the bill they've also allowed us to do IGF nti eno de betimi di bi application fee kakra bi aba na and also so abe support to secretariat so we can always fall on that in case there are emergencies to say mabunu bia almost say ya de omo ka na ya when emergencies come up we can fall on sasikan
okay
but we are now pushing say ka president ehun ye mobo no ye 5 na given the debt situation no ebe boa ye bebre because wo hwe e ka na da ho na at least ye nya kra na every year we should be able to commit about 200 or 150 million said the buyer a bit me to na ya say nya ya nimunyam because it got to a point UK universities no do na say omonje beneficiaries from the secretariat again
enti can't say that one mo ye dem ba beje bi ka
enti me ko yi me so maka kiro mu say no kre me so me buy say aka na ye me kra na anka mintimi enti for this year ye for student bia emba UK and some compounded debt. In fact, it was a presidential directive. Okay. Chief of Staff communicating my say we should not add on to the debt, especially in UK, because would will be quiet. Yes, I would not on just one cost too, because Afibia also renew your then. A man to be rolling over not debt no. Kakraka.
Okay.
A canon, I can say almost 40. No. A bit more than that because me buy no. Now the previous registrar na sign award over 100. Omako for January intake. It is say yeah just cannot be can the it will be more than what I'm telling you now.
No omako.
Omako do. But my suggestion is that because of say a person rationalizing debt, we should allow them to reapply. Yentimi mfa omu nyina
like the 100 no.
Yes, yentimi mfa ni nyina. And apart from no, may audit be. I realized 12 of that 100 no fake.
12 of 100 now already no
went on
through the process.
Yes, went on a fake award letters. How they managed to get it in?
How?
Minimum.
Almost omokoye program ben.
What the enti sa 12 no we are yet to take a decision on them. On say we are on my internal issue.
Enye internal issue
internal say in diplomacy enye bibia na ye kan ho asem. Because we deal with them as this. Of course, because untimi and I make us say there was some bit of diplomacy. So at the you just find a solution to it.
Into 12 no more way.
What we are saying is say young phobia and they say it is not within our power. But what could do what we need say reapply. If you reapply na unya, fine. Well now you find a way of paying for school untimi ntua na obeba it's your own choice
so much school na say dada
ebi ahase
ebi so nhyase na it said the worker say ebi ahase ebi no more hono company I will still go back to a fourth estate for the other source no mom the buy say ebi no mutimi ebetue sika na ya extend wo letter almost stay no because if you don't
have no objection I will get there
we near let us say you can't and talk about sir ye hu say krata na say even the letter what they call company fake you know doesn't mean say there's a possibility
as for those ones with the fake they are not our liabilities
mom making it known to them and I feel
I'm waiting for an official response from my superiors
okay
and your decision be na
nti me kai say a past administration no womo e by say omo person omo integrate all the public scholarship database no get fund GMPC SLTF scholarship secretariat nyina said there will be a transparent and an efficient
and so that has been taken care of by the bill by the bill nti say nya pass ya e na we nyina na wo no ebebam so President Mama is on course to fulfilling you know it is also
it is be on so nyina na mo promise am make here say mo be overhaul the scholarship regime no eni nyina so e was
once it is provided for in the law it means get fund
then you'll be able to regulate it
get fund will cede the responsibility of scholarship no to the Ghana Scholarship Authority GMPC will also do same until they would have reps on our committees and the board such that they are able to also manage or if like supervise and have oversight over how their funds are being expended. Dispersed. And sometimes almost bit me actually so as a body no you hear expertise in these areas. So now you prioritizes our areas no training more people there so they can come back and work for.
Okay. Now you share a secretariat in Cuba. It's saying Cuba for cost be take a free and as a bedding be free.
So and I make sure say all the bilaterals abane fabi abane to abane but for the non-bilateral solely the cost of GSS.
Okay. And the idea part there na prevent ye side no say you betimi fulfill it because when Cuba students no be kasa wo mo kita GMPC scholarship no our no every month biya no ye do musika
and it is because they are working according to their budgetary allocation
meba Alex to was say bon komo but scholarship secretariat year make me a case so say 14 months any wo allowance enko meba 4 years ni omo book allowance enko enti quite best so meaning on the 15th of April only omo ye Zoom meeting meboa who assure wo say ja last month year wo mo allowances no like wo honom ni nyina mo betu yakwa kwesi say
okay so enye omo first of all we owe their brothers in Morocco in Algeria say them kind and to be fair omo busa me with the last question I'll answer. But the first premise now said it is for Kingsley to come and answer.
To Kingsley, mama here.
Oh, me because me say me by phone my boy Kingsley 3 man who didn't hear want to. Me by phone my Kingsley 3 man who say na oni sika anano sika anana sika ho no chuchu say wontua. At least he is an MP, he can speak to it. But I will speak to the promise. Say me can see betua by end of month. And it is because Yatra Koma controller is here to also communicate with Bank of Ghana for the transfers to go. And sometimes
now they muntia
yetua says he can a bureaucracy. No, you write to your ministry, give miss. It takes a whole process to get your money.
But
it will take some time for even say in the Bank of Ghana cry, it takes 14 days.
Okay.
For the money to be reflected. So what am I saying? It's a simple say. Sometimes maybe actually a tentative date. I can say we are hopeful say in the next 14 days and meet me at me advance payment. But if you are give me so no system near down. System near down. What more can I do beyond that? Make my system now back. Then they will process it. you better comma controller Bank of Ghana, then the money gets there. In fact, some of them, one of the countries, omo challenges be because of the Russian-Ukraine war. Think cannot prefer to be locally. We've written to Foreign Affairs for clearance.
And I think say Nkwana so compare propose say enko be accounts because woman now mo use GMPC scholarship on mo accounts wo Ghana yetua etum de no.
Say I will need approvals. Enti nyese omo kan na as the registrar na maka say mate. Because omo no FB so responsibility no has to do with foreign affairs. It mean take his decision, especially on bilateral scholarships. Bilateral scholarships are signed by the foreign affairs on behalf of the state and the host country.
Okay.
And to mean take unilateral decisions on when it comes to bilateral scholarships. Ubisa on nipa na more information na. Omu pe bibia they write through foreign affairs to us. Any other than common from address it to GSS. When they write through foreign affairs, then foreign affairs will copy us in the letter on the way forward. Then we will write, say, this is what the students are proposing. If we get the clearance from foreign affairs, say, Mumbi accounts on Namon submitting my, so that we can do the payments locally. Okay.
Eka pen komo aye di ni sisi no. Esa eka minimum.
And Americans say
there's a follow up, question. Say minimum. And I can
yes,
okay. And when Professor H. Kwesi Prempe CDD Ghana, ne suggestion of making say yen scrap a secretariat no. Completely no suggested say no scholarship for undergrads studies abroad and about transparent university led processes and a mandatory post study public service. Do you agree with him?
I would not agree with him entirely, but some of his proposals, why should we scrap it?
No, or how we are
the previous regime Nija Kenti yen scrap Ghana. Previous regime na say Ghana. Yen she Ghana yen jantum. Is that the logic? No, but Oka said BB a kaba. Oka said UTV for the country.
And no, so Kofi Benton, so one so your lawyer.
It is so they should not. I'm trying to restrain myself. Other than MPP time now, OSP for Kasa. Why didn't they make this comment that it should be scrapped?
It is Alex Obufuba.
No, why didn't they make? Because illogical to me. It is Ghana so they can. Am we are under IMF program. And Ghana should cease to exist because here they can. Is that the argument?
Okay. And to Uber beneficiaries no or more numbers
we have their data.
More data no.
Your data.
Because COVID Benton as a man who can say public publication no of beneficiaries and the names and the annual.
OSP demanded our data. Where was Kofi Bentel? OSP case he buy with GSSANA. 8 years we didn't hear from him this thing. So can answer we. After I never finding the voice, it may criticize our buying enuma. Is that we are not going to take lessons from. You know, like I said, team for you or the same picture be abana picture crowd buying post to you know, and your gun hane baby and something pushing and him go as your news fan. I won't take moral lessons from Kofi Bento. Or make your case, ask your questions, I'll answer you.
No, but I mean,
so Kofi Bento, so that is his personal opinion. That is his personal opinion.
We are establishing, a point, and opinion matters. So what I say, opinion, all right there. But sometimes you need to make reference to that.
Kofi Bento, the point is that Kofi Bento. MP NDC government assembda.
Oh.
Kofi Bentel MP Yura John Mahama aban assembda. Even baby evidence ukra ni say odi begu aban nani mo ase no. Okofaba just to disgrace this government. Because ultimately be ka say government spokesperson in the picture aba. Na picture no kra your mind. Do you know the implications when it comes to international reputation? And especially me show so two kind. Now, if free time 19 for you asem no cry by only who to kwaya ye do faso immigration. When they see that you are from Ghana, our evidence be antimi am be seen there, wa throw atum kwa ama say you use your passport crowd free Ghana, kwaya be faso a ye do be for immigration no different. So Kofi Bentel assembly
you see so no the name some be can be so can go aban n'anim
ase we fall no na sem no entu ba bi na yen hwe de yewura mahama to reform the place solution na yehwehwe transformation na yehwehwe meko yewura otu for ho otu me for and tell futuo no the two me for it's in line with the vision of the president to say program available in Ghana adenti na wose emu obi kosuya wa amanone obi ti amanone say oye MBA University of Ghana Business School bet na ye kama
prof there o kan
say prof there no me I choose my words carefully prof there me say I don't agree with him entirely.
Okay, so
Kofi Bentel can keep his advice
only the own factor
enti eno na me kire say
do you have a personal problem?
Me ni obi any personal problem. Kofi Bentel is a politician. He's an MPP person and you know. So, okay, so a lawyer keka. Yes, or a lawyer, but or politics. He's neck deep in politics. Now by na so he's supported by Umia. On fancy, Obian himself, Kofi Bentel, supporting MPP tradition.
It is always MPP now you can't criticize.
I then na by and one can. I then want to President Kufuor Dr. Baumia na down for some Munscape scholarship. Say no ben womo. The proximity to them na very close. Ti sa nyansa we na no wa den one farmer Baumia say Baumia. Catch President Kufuor no scrap it. He kept quiet for 8 years. Now he has found.
Okay, so now moving forward, you know, what to me, a kawe say a wohonomo, munim ni padrodo, a woman on it, woman Ghana has say to the tangent said now there has been a directive, I can say, but the UK, a kind of minimum, do it mean some compounded. A illegality, some what to me, 12 a nipa, one more letter, what they call, you know, a fake. What is the way forward?
And see, I've met, I've written. No, also say, oh, mama, I would have dealt with all these questions that because issues are minimum dada. The almost send by I know already.
But
if our production to the almost, of course,
we have to. There's a conversation.
So I went to UK. So I went to UK, met about 24 universities. You know, mo edi nkomo ya mo payment plan. Amo indicate say be 3 installments till November. Omaji bebre na je atum ebi mo so nji ntumu. Ye gu so a ye hwe say ye betime anya a common ground of agreement so that the students can have their peace of mind to study whilst government works at how ye betime ahwe e canon na rationalize na yetimi asan so de amanfo akọ e hobi. Me call US same arrangements with them, University of Memphis. I've not had the opportunity to go to Morocco, China, and Russia for no, but the once in America, I buy fat a kakesian. And our priority is to send them some stipends or if you like allowances. Say them make us a payment anymore. Now with time, no almost so no every quarter I heard the bit me to their mom so backlog now every one. And so we are exploring new opportunities as well with other countries.
So we've been able to secure.
So we explore other countries to create more opportunity for the old ones now you push for a skill training you push for Muslims into country or Nigeria then or refer to my special dispensation on Imam training and Arabic studies into you bet me the Muslim for no child or makarantano ako Imam the special focus to disabuse the minds of the general public. Say Islam has something to do with violence. Islam stands for peace. Into amuko trainers are Imam for now. No the omaba no muso so I be trainers of trainers so that they can spread. Say the ba man for be who say and kremusum no e wo no enye to trust them and preacher to trust them. Nemum for asumdwe. Into we are pushing Egypt me pushing UAE me pushing Morocco. Say the ba ye benya no in some large quantities. Now omotimi akọ.
At some point, buy any Muslim for now, or more feeling left out na.
Of course, Oshe Zungus na. Untimi in country say, oh, you can compare it to other communities. Ura Zungwa. Na Oshe setting na. Tinam the Ghana. You cannot compare maybe a town in Upper West to a town in Accra. Sa Gabno. Misua musunya de nyina no. Ya catch there is a huge gap between the north and the south. Is there? It is a bibi na say ye hwe to say leap households. I don't think anyone say prioritizing leap households. Because when we mame for ne papa for and nan kokra for ne mrewa for de omu be di kra no omu ni bi enti say yes scholarships are it only stands to reason say obe prioritize obi a free a leap households. Of course a dose it's over 300,000 untimi nye ni nyina but kakra na ubetimi dia more as a special dispensation then you are solving problem. Well, one of the core mandata Ekita Ghana Scholarship Secretariat only be the only bino and I was say near day and only a friend brilliant but needy. They are the reason why we are there. And until another catcher say I saw a comment about a lady on
where
Facebook.
The results are
I'm passing oba no which means any mama any papa if you
now talking about ASR act here more pair more pushy sabi ona be back mono in within that no mo be yen say I said okay say deprived
areas has been captured. Everything has been captured.
And another thing me can enso ne say we share even the number na clearly no you could see say local scholarships no edosom echen foreign ones
yes.
But within Ghana has say scholarships. Do you have a problem like foreign ones?
No. And untina, I was say, oh, yeah, registrar. Oh, and yes, Bibia now will sign. Because I can't make ya, oh, yeah, Mashui. As you say, Ghana banker with University of Ghana, money UCC, Nikkei, West Timor. Anka yetu ya senfa so bebaso.
Okay.
Enye no be nanka. What the infant say? So a hypothetical situation. Assuming we owe them even 1 billion. Ghanaian institutions. And I buy Jomama buy a ban or so be to us, I can free one. And you to more. And you know, be no the expansion. And you know, be no the better advanced equipment. They are your medical students are there, and engineering students are there. Etimia, I have special faculties for AI and robotics. I'm a Ghana so tumpon. For how long na Rebecca say time bia ye ni bi ti ye ko bro ni kroma kwa kusua de. This brings me to Adekye a friend in no objection. You can no objection. No objection as it say ye de wakwa amano nso kusua de ya bo ho ka. Eno na wo ka ho asem owie ye no visa extension. Eno na maka say ya bo ho ka na visa extension. Me kwa for the as registrar. You won't get it unless it's a special case.
A special case be to say then.
Obi wo ha obe hia extension bia ebi wa program bi wo be wie na ehun be hia so be short program bi for bia 6 months dia so na ye complete no wetimi anya the entire wanya certificate
and the clearance near the being
then we can look at that but no objection na kire say ya bo ho ka ye say ye fa hudi member embeso mo man Ghana enti ye akwa developing human capital atu ya ho ka onu wie ya o se won pese obeba be ye adwuma ma Ghana ban na mo won pese o ye adwuma ma Bruni enti ye nsan ade e friend no objection fama no na ontimi nya adwuma e wo Bruni krum
kona katua na emu odu
na ene ade na wan fa wa play na anko ade na wan fa wo kan ko ho wonim se ho na katua emu odu then you shouldn't have come for scholarship omo your perform ma major scholarship omo ti ho ti eno de akatua wo gide ene obi asem ugo kan the argument is that omo ye remittances Sebe, or remittances now, you are not doing it for us for jail President Mama. What ya blue and our feelings I will send this come out, mammy, unyabi, or girlfriend or yere, and now back. How is that our issue? Sasikana was sending a mammy, mammy, because for a child. And I am Bawo, and I'm Ghana Scholarship Secretary. It is your responsibility.
So my argument or making
say I or man for so because of remittances, and that argument is flat. Omo scholarship don't they remit?
They do.
And do they remit because they love President Mahama? They remit to their families. It is something you do anyway as a responsible person growing up.
Inti now no. So will be a person or call even say UK cranas be a person US or kwa ye a masters no but Obama Secretariat onoma mobemano a scholarship ana.
Obi person or US. Some countries are still open, but their budget is limited. Until we cannot do so much for this year.
Okay. Into this year, no more estimation, are you saying?
Yeah. In fact, estimation, your paper so yeah, the Ditiaka, the Yamba, the only sika, Mama, your chatwo, for local tertiary scholarships. I no this month, Yamaya Dumas, late this month ye be shasi.
Okay.
Aye. But foreign there yen share them planning bibia because eka eneda.
Apart from eka, what are some of the challenges are more facing as secretariat?
Oh, secretariat there say sika na ehia. Nsema America nyina ne to fan say na yewura to force hu ye mobo. No ka say mo meje supplementary budget a. Ye betimi de atuatu aka ni bia henhan ye ho. Na yetimi increase even local scholarships na ye pese ye no. Ye betimi increase numbers no.
They say amuka mu musika boss amusika no kwa mo de bom ho bra no kana enso mo kana mo de no mu krampo
say oh my God na de kan chese ye ni di ohia okafo didi
nti mo be didi
ye be didi na say sisi ametie it is say ametie na obi e deserve scholarship pa me say e kan nti
na sika be na mo de
ye be twa sika ni bi di aye omo so ye be tie omo de no kakra ye ntimi ntam ye sika nyina say di kotuaka na administration kra office administration kra ye be den the edebe internal administration ye work must go on intimi mba na eka obi abebro agu wo sa no eno me emesi me kwan say de na wo kan Ghana maburu so omo wo ho no so deserve opportunities UTV President Mama in our manifesto ka so obebo central for omo person omo ye omo masters ni PhD ewom na kade na yemfa nhwemo yemfa ni nyina nkotu aka yemfa ni nyina nko UK certainly no Prince Obi mpemu so hia opportunity uhia opportunity abna cheibuachi hia opportunity ya kurama hia opportunity anambeboa ti yentimi ntina se ya beja kabinti yesika bia e ba ya de kotu aka na omo wo ho so a omo so abre pe opportunity no omo they are being denied the opportunity. No, we can't have it that way.
I see. Enti wo ba ye, what are some of the measures we're putting in place ubetimi etimi avoid or even ye de kadie now so moving forward, you know, what are some of the things
what
highlights on
the person say this time we are going to work with the framework and yet to say a beam scholarship inti bibia now de ba omampani in the first state of the nation's address and making it clear said the priority areas are going to be STEM, STEM, TVET, special focus on law, medicine, engineering.
Okay.
Why wouldn't him say we be a political science 4 years we need money? Also, person acquire political science na be now some become unemployed for now. Minua ba efe. It we need to raise the bar. To say the na Prof H Kwesi Prempeka. We need to raise the bar. So person acquire man on ikosunya dia. It must be aligned with our manpower needs.
Tinema o mine
here because there be abrofu iba ha. Omo say omo kofa labor free abrochiri. Na Ghana for ni su about local content. Say omo my opportunity employ. Under the guise of skills now, Ghana for do na any. So we look at where the gaps are. Now you align with the foreign scholarships that we give. Until the next year, abrofo no be bomb say be use to abeka say yem crop for skill. Yes, omunye be. So it increases the local content. Then you say we be contract with krom asan for krom for abasan be disika no na asan de ko krom. So I've visited, we are working with the NDPC document, National Development Planning Commission for document. We are also, I've gone to visit my sister Honorable Elizabeth Ufusu-Ajare, who is in charge of trade and industry. Also I promise me say all the gaps ever bring me. So we look at it and align the scholarships towards then you are solving a problem. And yet to say Obiaba, also a person called MBE. Ewa abrochiri MBA common nursing. No, you see, it doesn't really make sense. Because as you can also call a nursing training institution now, Ghana for the years can be because money is Ghana will spend it anyway, and you want to spend some on somebody pay like in total be a £50,000, £70,000. No acquire nursing course. Abrasa. Your nursing training institutes be brewa. Sasi can call more. It stays in the economy. Sasi can all the more. It stays in the economy. It remaining in Ghana. Meaning what you must hear. And what be normal de be expansion. And what be normal de be building on more machines in technology. And what be nebi combat media co procure sa equipment na and into ukwa bruche no edi biaba. But if we keep denying them this opportunity, si can almost be improve ni be free him for naba. Enti ade na ye no we must be deliberate about everything.
Okay.
If program okoye no Ghana institution be yebia, then we pay them.
Okay.
Because mama ka asem tro. Oko US money UK wa. Omo major source of revenue with international students. Omo baby omo revenue ni free banana kasa ye international students.
Fees are wutu
and exactly my point. And and you say 50 years mo fathers ya bra no am so now you keep exporting money. There and I say we are just exporting money into somebody's economy.
Especially say or courses of more no in line with the Omaino here.
Exactly. And most of the programs that Omokoyeno are being run in Ghana perfectly. Metiye ya me ko school or Ghana make us say minyansa na chia.
There be na so be so because law, medicine, I will say my work. Say you be into so be person or law.
And because the framework I person e dey adwuma.
And make enu na make us say no so be so because say ban medicine a omo kwa ma.
Law your specialization, your programs you are person koye dey ba. Because the end goal.
And also more specialties.
Of course, say me LLM in national security law and practice. But okoye LLB you don't unye sa program we. Enti ye was specializations wo ha within law but opese okoye e bia ye ni bi wo ha. That's different.
Okay, but are we also ready to equip our institutions so well? Because they know uni obi ka so baka cho say dinta me pesa me kwa ma no ne ekwo gentete ne say e ho no no se me pe se ba no practical se ba no ye niema the basic niema make me lay me hands on na menya. But I say very difficult enuntia.
Inti maka asema dikachro say a chunk of the revenue now universities ninya no the to equipments are working is coming from the international students. Inti say ya start local universities no so enya more students so they can also increase their revenue. How are they going to procure those equipments? Inti they be forever no more omo say ya omo ntimi improve omo ntimi nyehwe
into omo international institutions.
The more you
are they solely depending on international students to
run. Omo ankasa admit say omo greater revenue. They say the wa uji tu mu say sika na omo je na so. It's coming from international people who are coming from different countries to their universities. And I am of the view say if we don't also support our own ten bia no omo so ntimi expand it. Ten bia the excuse will be that me pese me ko suya de wa abrochire because ade we me nya wo university we. It is only when you are supporting them and more revenue. Almost betimi dia sisi dan. Betimi dia procure equipments na. You say wa mononinti anunti na yeko. We must begin to look back. Na yen fire adwin ko si o man Ghana so that we can start from somewhere and then build into the future. But ye kase we omuni bi nti da bia obi andi bi nti obi anko abrochi. Then how do we solve that problem? There must be a solution.
Until now, the majority of Sikano
will be local.
Okay, it's not Sebia. More scholarship too. A young coffee or said the society MBA no. Yes, be a mom, but I will be no Ghana has said there and the mobile. But
no crown, yeah, the percentage, yeah, the bema when it comes to those courses will not be higher than law, medicine, engineering. We are looking at AI, robotics. These are the priority areas. So, yeah, say omo apply your applications near film na say 70% within that framework they will get it as far as they qualify. Now answer na ya share the MBAs the way
it is law medicine no both local and international
and foreign.
Nti so binipa na be ye wo ha say ya mo be
of course.
Okay. Yeah sure see no which is it your website now I say now no moving forward do you have a plan now opesa will digitalize it more medium Kwan will be better so I make applications so there will be a transparency and I say in a way to monitor process nana.
Of course, so we are almost through with that. You are building system. Na me ya adoma. Your application you have to enter your Ghana card number. We want to avoid the situation where obi anya scholarship first one koye undergrad. Nipa na asan ba person de koye masters. Ono asan ba onko aden. Da ben na usu benya bi. Da ben na prince benya bi nipa ba ko pese onko ada bia scholarship no enti eno artificial intelligence or system no ma ebetimi a kire say say nipa we or your beneficiary wa benefited that o pese who upload fake documents kra ebetimi a chiw so the process will stop for security reasons me person meka ni nyina so
doctor you are trigger bibi na say if there's a
also be work ya application otimi kra de echo doctor no wa yi obi din afiri ho no de ono ni din na hye so te se de menim say what ase we want to check
to edit
we want to check sa normal ni nyina okay de make us what ase nti normal bebre na ye be a major press conference when we are through with it and we are about launching the local tertiary scholarship. Yeah, the sa normal ni nyina so beto and central for any ade ba ko a bill no esan be cure from next year nyame ya adom na ye pass bill na wa obeje scholarship bia se okusua de wa manone a obeye wadwen se wawie na wo pe no objection letter sika na ye de ehwe wo no ebeba be loan
amanipa na tua
and we are working closely with the embassies.
Okay, in Tisano, there will be an agreement between Munini.
In fact, almost sign bond.
And as you know, so almost signed the bus.
There is no sense in approving no objections.
By no objections, those saying
no objections on my me ha many 1,000 be able to me do.
Hey.
Because you check or more we school crana. You do almost cast stipends. Then unquire almost 13 million pounds. Omo abeji ye sika dia hwe omo ho awie tie logic no ma me chiro mu yi ye Ghana ban through scholarship secretariat abo sankrofo yi ho ka e de omo akọ UK asem na America e de omo akọ UK sa omo ko sua de omo wie ye no omo ka kire omo Ghana say ye de pese ye bo abroni ye mo omo Ghana and be more age no objection no dia accord for age sa extension visas no a manya regular stay bi kra nya regular stay beyond the 2 years afọ mo yerenom abetena ho afọ mo nuanom abetena ho eye adwuma na sa nipa we san ba ye ho se tama no oko school no tiemi o tama no oko school no na ye de ne cast type nti yentua obetua
so on samba
no
me say so on samba
exactly so nyansa nim say oni akukudro kra say mo na wahwe me UTV a training uwie school no bra UTV house me ma mo ntena mo ba bi se say me ni media house we na ekoya adwuma o ya house time mo de me call school kra na mo de me car allowance mo anka for that dey papa na ni so enti sa ka 13 million no yes ye ntua ye be writing off
ntua
in the voice of Asafo Powers or say kill ntua because I don't see, you see, it doesn't really make sense. So your my bapa odo Ghana bind the sika shell. I was say Obabe contribute to quota to the to develop your country. You chose to work for the white man's economy. Atimi akofa ire na o ma betena wo nchen a wo tia bruchiro wa wo nye wadwen say oba Ghana. Afi yenkote a wo se. Am time am go school no kra no. Na wo say mutia allowance bi ma me moda so de me ka so pay ade yusru wo ho feche obi a wo Ghana ha oso ba na oso be ma na ehu bi da enu kra de I'm here to get approval from my bosses but in my opinion we must not pay that money at least for the sake of the younger generation here minim say what you say say sika na 13 million no ye say bi a yentimi fa bi ma scholarship 30 million pounds no yenti bi enfa bi ma afoforo e pese o so ko sua de be bo o man Ghana enti sa wo do o man a in this difficult situation kra no e wo se mumom na mo propose say as a way a ye compensate Ghana no sa ka we say ye kra de ye nya no objection ama ye okay enti muntwam na mun service our cost no na mun fa nya bibi fofo fa mo o man Ghana that should be the ideal situation enti wuntimi nko gina ba bi say wo be demonstration because when we school I did no objection ye de oka stipends yen santua no
now say you share a musika na apart from sika ban betwa e de ato no do you get emwa every baby e de be share secretariat no mo de bomo bra
now there be we can only write for grants sa no man so I'm working on that with a couple of people behind the scenes I'm very hopeful things are going to get better especially from next year.
I think it's really worse.
What?
Me say I think it's really worse over there. And yema I enko yi kra wo hono mana.
yeah investigation be to me per se me lead be brain me no can say we have discovered a lot of rot because there are some award letters award system no man you share ye fast so any so
apart from even UK12 no so
no dey say UK12 bi ntina make say eno UK12 bi ye award letters amount for their school na ebi mu ntina make diplomacy na ebi mu kra wi
o makwa wi
but they are not on our file.
Wow.
Yes.
I see. After
what
your assessments on the past administration, so more decentralized, digitalized scholarship, awards and
more digitalizing way.
The past we say, I mean, they came. And there was so no about to
digital ibia ho. Me time we na fe na me put together the data.
Bibia say
me hu digital data bia. Naka OS between almost for data ranka be sin nka MI. You as how the group pen drive so they command. Ewe.
So am to hwe.
So wo bia ya me de me.
Me so na me penyin. And me say
me hu digital data bia.
Then na wo buy you see records and all that.
Me buy there ma be hu. Afe na task a committee to put everything together. Let me have the soft copy as well, so that we can now begin to build on the data. You can't digital, name digital data be
okay. It's now no be on the anymore say could do that better.
I know there
you can push it has been
so,
a lot of
I know we can push and I make so bet me push because scholarship no home from abefa ho. From abefa Prince Obimpe.
Alex.
Eti yenina. Oh, of course, but eti a manifesto. Eti so let me give you this. I say your core mandate here brilliant but needy. That is the main mandate.
And how do you even assess that this person is in need?
So usually when they bring results slip, me mama say we will do a follow up.
Okay.
Enti bia ye be call mama ni fie, ye be call akohwe papa ni fie, o ma setenem.
Nipa bebrebe.
No, I know ye. Enti nam say ye ankasa no, on say ye ankasa the difficult ni ye ho. Say ye be di no kre, ama ye ho. Me am only one person. Ebi ametimi afro say oh ya senka wo nimu bia. Wa onim say we die mami ontimi nhwe ne ba de o mo be di kra edi. Enti unimu bi sa na hu bi sa kra. UTV for mo mfa ne mra secretariat na ye mboa wo. But one share na one koye nipa na wo dia saa de na hye sa onye nipa papa afi no nzo abe a boss ai wo dia mama se me do cost scholarship bibia be sorted afi hia ni no kra no wo say me no kobo besia ansa na ade no so ye free one way a ukohia be ma bia ontimi control na yi a ohu young girl ne sa oh mama nya ba ko me do be call scholarship secretary bibia be ye free
we as my organ ya rehosem
eno na me kan enti ye ho say ye be di no kre ama ye ho wo betimi anya that genuine person because I need volunteers and it's something I've raised at a management meeting say can you recruit volunteers across especially in regions now omunye well endowed when it comes to sikasem no central upper east upper west savannah voter
and also buy you say obi animobi
you betimi kura working with the schools with the heads of schools but no credit because I cannot be everywhere
because can maybe baby say we some staff near the no mun be mu nti e not so boils down to decentralization as em so
but the key issue no credit because scholarship issue will be interested obiaso person will take advantage of it to get something
because as someone o mampanyini that time na ope ekunye obo ho dewro mema ye mfa manyosem enhihiem obehwe say
that is the ideal situation
na business example so our site ye share
any asem no in fact
MP motimi kotua sika
my colleagues media personalities my friend be more funds so say because of adwuma amoye ne the kind of people e baha no mo kra de mutimi nya crofo mo nya opepa na mo be ko school mo pass kama ba fie ni bi
mwani ho na ko sa wuti TV so enim sa wo sika
na ka omo so mo betimi aboa secretariat no e bia mensa enum bi aba mo amatimi aye follow up and say we dey genuine why not enum ti na yete ho
ye ba mo beti
adan na minti me no na te he me se me bo am ho ba unya obi sa fa ne bra de ya tro Facebook kura no maka tro mo so omo mra na de UTV for dey ba ani ubetimi aya ama me amede ahye wo nsa eni se omo ni bi
Obeba ma shofo abetu agu bi so se
enu on se ba ahwefo na omo betu agu so wan hwe ya obi so ewo bi pa so wo mpese obetu enti no wa hye da de abrɛ no obetwa ntro de meka wate ase
na nokwadie ni hwehwemu no so ebe
enti the whole issue ni say ye bedi nokre ayeden ama ye ho endi abo de ba enu nti na ye tewo enu na nya MPP nya NDC who knows ebia na nipa kro obeko school ni wi a unim de obetimi aya mo my Ghana so enu no ye mfa political back declaration na ye but of course akokwa oben woni de owi abebe sere
Alex agogo oben woni area akokwa sere
na wo se de odi fada de fintie na se unti ba osi enu de me mfa nsi o
you be a bit biased.
Well, of course, some our people have also worked. Some have suffered. Some died in the process.
It is a scholarship.
It is a scholarship now. Why not? That is not
that's
to say
need that.
No, of course. At the end, this year here for him.
But
so my point is that MPP NDC, you Ghana fuan sana, you join the political party.
Okay.
Eti NDC ninya scholarship, there is nothing wrong with it. He's a Ghanaian. It is a John Mahama and Ayura, His Excellency Kase, Yemboa Ghana for me and Chese NDC for should be denied the opportunity.
Obia Kahumbi.
But Obi ya Juma Chedi, due to Nibi no TV, so say ya on Pese Mahama Beba.
It is such a person no.
And yes, I may can't say be a Marshall Bin so and I'm a target to be but your oncrophobia mono now marginal and say. Mahama ntimi mboa e de onkofo bi so mo di gidie from the one share yewura Mahama mu say Mahama betimi aboa me ka say there was ye call campaign wo ba bi wo adwura frante ema car semunti na sa bidie cars na elo enu mu na nipa wo o kai sa incident no eyese na nipa hwiegu ye ma nipa bebre wi
bi so prepare
it is a sa nipa yi ne ba de wo wi ne baba. Yes, it's just because we end this in Tiasa for J bias. No. Omiti criteria nenkwa dia. Why not? Tina meka say akokwa oben oni. On na wi abebe sere.
Ajo. Ya te. Alex ye nkomo na ye de na me so me Cuba for no. E da ben.
Se me ama hu say wo ye pia no de matiga. Catch up say. Catch up say omunya abotre. We it's unfortunate nanka me person the document in the show. Obe hu say yaye ma sign bibia ko dia kai transfer no from Bank of Ghana into omunya abotre me dwene wo mo ho oti akra ko oti e school na wo kire a utwa wani ahu ma me kra ne dancing na oti obi ma we are yes we are oblivious of their feeling meaning say what mase a me che o mase I feel for them me ye de me ye bia say omo so ho be den e be to mo oti Ghana hakra no kom do a adusua ne tesen wa mempo ne tesen enko odu a osua de wa na wade aka nyina na so ho enko biu so what you say enti I understand their plight. We are going to pay them almost so and dialogue more with me because of the mess I have inherited so that omu leadership ye din komo bebria ye betimi aboa ye ho rather than say kakra ye be protest won't solve the problem. Oye protester wa ban na ugu nanimu ase at the international level. Meaning say what you say and John Mahama is a new president. I am a new registrar. Give us that benefit of the doubt. Omu demonstrated good faith. Say omu be John Mahama coin some briefing space to solve this problem. For instance, UK Kaya Mekai. Do you expect President Mahama within the first quarter to conjure 40 million pounds to pay? Certainly no. It is who take a position be say in the last 8 years who went to me and cash what na why President Mahama back within 3-4 months on your magic into you are not being fair to the new administration. You buy ye na yen take steps sir. Then you can say one we are now to say the net here now. But students no more UK they have no point demonstrating. Because my baho many universities in India besia or more we've written to them. Cuba for our can men call ho. Say be anka makọ kra na anka omo pressure so aye den. Ati. But me share the overhead cost in these travels now. Ye keka bom kra de bitua mo a ebeboa.
Tine na zoom na.
I just say bear with me. A normal mu ye at the appropriate time. Member ho na ma ba besra wo.
Ba me so ni mo ni mu ye nso de push.
Eno dey say medical show border. Medical show border that. But
yes, member office na me no aba betina ho.
Medical show border that. But what I'm saying essentially is that I am telling the people of Ghana say me Kwakwasa for J Asante Mampo need this year. Obi onimi bia betimi aka say dem sitie my name Brisika. Sika de ye na emom no apen kwan paso. Under my regime men tua sika mo bia. I am not interested in anybody's money for scholarship. Let me place emphasis on it.
Okay.
Enti obi ka se tua sika manwa. Ubetimi a tetenu twa video. Fabra me amedo beko CID ho. So that the person is arrested and the person is dealt with.
Okay.
Minji obi one peswa. Sika no ye sika. Mobro wafo ewo dwom. Eti awia so eti nsuom as atem omu didwa. Omu tax ayetua ene ye gye ne kakra na enya no wo consolidated accounts mu. Na finance minister ahwe wo twa kakra say scholarship monfanya adwuma. De make wate ase. Sa sika no one pe kwan pa so na wo ye so wo ye greedy wo beton scholarship wo be say abrabo no enye sisi a awie ni asem. The cry of the ordinary people won't let you have peace.
Okay. Yeah, but that's a memo about so a rana semna wokai and I have the evidence here. We done deal.
I said yeah. I gave them my own pocket money for transport back.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I say adansidie e wo ha echere.
Enti obi aka say obi person ogini sika ka chere say wonnim me. Me say mo obi antua one person to anybody. Enu kwanti me azumi office. I tried not to do bibi kese bia obi kra na me betwa picture because minim so obi betimi na betwa picture na the other obi say minim registrar enti uma me say that the only solution is to report ye need the power to arrest ade ba kwa mpese Ghana 40 ase no scholarship secretariat need the power to arrest ti say if only pray now obi ji usika there is little I can do ti na make sure say tie kra ye di nkomo yi obi hihye adwuma de to obi so
den yo Alex medase women wadaje minim se ekọ enimu na so ye be ma onan ayintintia nti na etwe so efrewa na wa ba tie da sepa abusia for Alex Kwaku Asafo J registrar ma Ghana Scholarships Secretariat na ye na twetwe nkomo ma menkansi so scholarship no free just apply. Who apply? Na medium bank composition they apply.
Yeah, website, but because it is under, you know, so we announce it.
Na na amanfo nyina entinti no notice website who apply who go through the process who qualifier na ye the amount free and more be enkonkoju sika. Me so yenti asiesa e Ghana Scholarship Secretariat almost say omonche nipa umo bi edupiwa enti the only thing I say we nipa na ye na just oba beju sika. Any one kasa pay evidence or report some more de be ma post for na omodi ekira kyesa enkrofo ni na we na be boa ma Ghana etimi etumpom ugu so ehwe Adekye Nsroma mo ayehu ne anyi aboafo enso enkrato ye wi a e ba be di Ghana ho komoko be bia e be ba sisia.